Fuck Bruce Willis.
Hello, everybody. I'm John,
I'm Justin.
and we're back. We're the Gore
Goblins.
and this is our show where we talk about
Horror
movies
movies.
we like
Some we don't.
and some we've never heard of, and we're
Where am
finally
I?
back after 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Because shit happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens when we just do this for fun. We don't have time to fucking stop our day jobs. But here we are to talk about Scream 4, which came out in 2011, directed by Wes Craven. Kevin Williamson came back to write it. And yeah, that's what we're talking about today, is the fourth entry of Scream.
Oh, wait. Even though I already told you about my feelings of the last episode, I feel I owe it to the peoples to apologize to. For saying 2 bad words that I shouldn't have. Even though I don't agree with censorship, but I understand why I shouldn't say it. And then I just felt like that episode sucked really badly.
Yeah, that's why it became. What did that comment say? It became the
one that-
Godzilla
it was
show.
like, oh, you talked about the movie for 30 minutes, and then it became the Godzilla show.
Yeah, that's.
And I was like,
we didn't have a lot to say about urban legend. Sometimes that happens.
it's not just that; it's that I picked it for a stupid reason too. So we weren't even fully invested in it.
I mean, it's a Scream clone, so it worked. But really,
Yeah.
we should have bundled it with Scream 4 once we realized that it was kind of just,
Yeah.
like there wasn't really a lot to say about it.
So sorry for that one.
That's the
but
problem.
thanks for making that the most viewed one on YouTube for some reason.
What was before that? Was Evil Dead 2013, wasn't it?
The Evil Dead 2
It
had
was
the
Evil Dead
highest.
2? Okay. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Love to see that.
Beyond the Black Rainbow reached 100, I think.
Oh, nice. I like that episode. Martyrs is still probably criminally underrated, unfortunately, because I think that's probably our best work, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest. But, yeah, today we're talking about Scream 4. So, like I said, it came out in 2011. Wes Craven came back to direct it. This was actually his final directing. This is the final movie he directed before he died because he had brain cancer.
Rip.
R.I.P. to big Wes Craven. And Kevin Williamson came back to write it. Initially, so this movie was announced in 2009 or some shit, because there wasn't supposed to be anything after 3, because 3 ends with Sydney moving on and leaving her back door open, which probably isn't smart, but that's what happens. Justin's giggling, and I know why, and I'm gonna keep talking so he doesn't have a chance to say anything. But it was supposed to be the end, but then money. So they were like, "Hey, we're making another one," and Kevin Williamson was like, "I'll come back and write it." He took a break from fucking Vampire Diaries, which I did not know he created. My mom used to watch that show. You learn something new every day. So he came back and wrote it, and Wes Craven was like, "I'll only come back if I like the script." And just like with every movie that isn't the first Scream, the script went through a lot of rewrites. So this was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy. The movie was supposed to end on a cliffhanger that I'll talk about when we get to the end of the movie. And it was supposed to spawn 2 sequels. And this would have been the first movie. Well, I'll talk about that later, too. But this was basically supposed to be the first part of a trilogy. And it was successful. I don't know why it stagnated like it did. I think Wes Craven dying might have had something to do with it. But even before that, it was 4 years before he died. So I don't know when exactly his health took a turn. But either way, it stagnated. And, I'm happy with Scream 5 and 6. And I'll just I'll use that to segue into my thoughts about Scream 4. So, in rewatching these movies, Scream 2 was better than I remember. I enjoyed Scream 2 a lot more. Scream 4 still doesn't really work for me.
Nope.
I don't hate it. I think it's fun, but I think everything this movie tries to do in terms of its meta commentary is done better in Scream 5, and it's not as dated. I think if I had watched this at the time, I probably would have been like, oh, fuck, this is pretty good. But I didn't, and a lot of the tropes that they kind of make fun of aren't really a thing anymore, which is kind of funny because in all the other movies, those tropes still kind of exist, but not so much for this one. I feel like I don't know. It just doesn't work. I also don't really care about any of the new characters really, except for maybe Kirby. But even then, it's
Kirby,
just kind of like
the
I don't
name
know.
you should know, the star of the show.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna let Justin just melt over
Bet
there.
she has maximum pink.
And then like a lot of people like Jill. I don't like Jill.
Kill Jill.
I don't like Jill at all. But it's I mean it's fine. It's I mean it's a fun. I don't know. It's a good slasher. It's just I'm not as far as like in the grander scheme of Scream. I don't really care about it that much. It's last place on my fucking list for a reason. Because I mean I don't hate it. It's just I like the finale. The opening's kind of fun. But everything else it's the middle that I kind of just don't care about. Still like Dewey. Dewey's still my favorite character. Still love him to death.
Yeah.
But
Why can't he be the sheriff of the jail here?
yeah, then yeah, I guess Justin. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. How do you feel about Scream 4, Justin?
Ugh, I didn't like it. Well, I mean, it was fine. Just the motive and the killer just didn't do it for me.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's like, oh wow, you're jealous because Sydney went through the most traumatic event in her life and she wrote a book. Wow, that's something to be jealous about.
No, she's jealous because Sydney's famous and she's not.
Yeah,
and you know what it was like growing up in this family and I'm just like, shut up.
Sydney, oh.
Shut up.
And when she started talking about her plan and shit, it just sounded so fucking bad.
Yeah,
Like
that's
she
Emma
was-
Roberts for you.
Like she was trying to sound crazy.
That's Emma Roberts for you.
Ugh.
Like again, that's like a lot of people. Like this is a lot of people's favorite movie. Like this is a lot of people's
Why?
favorite Scream is this one. And I guess if it was the first one you watched in the 2010s, sure, but like, it isn't the first one I watched. So I don't really care about it. But yeah, the opening's fun though. It's like a little because in the 11 years since Scream 3, in universe the Stab movies kept getting made, and like they're watching Stab 7 and Stab 5 and 6. So they're watching Stab 7, and the way that movie starts is it's people in Stab 6 watching Stab 5. Yeah. That's how that works. So it's a fake out opener, and then you get cameos from Anna Paquin and oh God, what's her name?
Kristen Bell.
Yes, you get cameos from them, and then that's Stab 6, and then Stab 7 is just the movie they were watching, I guess, and then you get the real like opener where Ghostface kills them and shit.
This time it's immediately established there's two of them.
Yes, yeah, isn't that crazy? But they did it. Hell boy brother, they did it. But then the movie kind of goes from there. We're introduced to all the new characters that I don't give a fuck about, like Charlie, and he's Kieran Culkin's brother, and he looks weird. And then there's who is it? Rory Culkin, I think is his name. And then there's his fucking Randy wannabe friend. And that's like the theme of this one is it's tackling remakes. Like that's the thing. And I mean, but again, I feel like Scream 5 does that trope better. I don't know. It's just like, because it doesn't really feel like a remake. Jill doesn't feel like Sydney. I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But it's, the whole thing is the remake, like the remake trend that was a thing in like 2010, in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Like Evil Dead 2013, which is a very good remake, but it's not really a remake, so it's hard to, it's not really a remake. But you had When a Stranger Calls, Friday the 13th got that reboot, remake, whatever the fuck, Nightmare on Elm Street, blah. So you had that was the trend. So that's what this movie's trying to be like a satire of. But the new characters I don't really like them that much. That's the problem. Like I said, I don't really like Jill.
If they had taken
I don't know. I
the
don't like
original
Charlie.
3 out of the fucking mix, this would have been better.
Yeah, because that's the thing is you're trying to. Because that's the other thing that Scream 5 does, to kind of talk about that for a second, is the original 3 play a much smaller role in that movie compared to the original 3 in this one. Like their role is significantly reduced for a variety of reasons. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But for a variety of reasons, their roles are reduced, which is good because then it kind of lets the new characters breathe. And then that's kind of extends to Scream 6, where there's only like 2 returning characters, I think. But, again, I just think Scream 5 handles it better because that's a good point, Justin. The movie feels a little crowded because you have Sydney, Dewey, and Gale. By the way, Dewey and Gale are married now, which is funny because they started filming this movie after they filed for separation in real life. So that's got to suck. But, yeah, they kind of just feels a little overstuffed because of that. But, like, I also see how it kind of plays into what the movie's going for. But, like, it doesn't really, I don't know. So Sydney comes back to town because she wrote a book or some shit. And then the killings start. Or they just keep going, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
She like goes back to the town and sees all the Ghostface put up, and she's like, "Huh, kids."
yeah, she's moved on. Like, that's the thing, is she's moved the fuck on a long time ago. 11 years ago, to be exact. So, in this one, I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't know. The rest of the movie happens. Like, there's not really, it's nothing new from the last 3, sorry. It's nothing new from the last 3 movies. I feel like Ghostface is a lot less of a bumbling idiot in this one, though. Like, he's not tripping over stuff as much. He's a little more brutal. There's that one kill early on
Where he
with
cuts that girl open.
where he fucking disembowels the shit out of her. They stab Anthony Anderson in the head. And
That's
then
what he gets for eating that plate of donuts in Transformers.
and then he executes a very poor joke that hasn't aged well for a couple of reasons. Most importantly, because Bruce Willis has like a very bad mental illness now, but also it's just not a good joke. I don't know. Adam Brody's also in this. He was in Ready or Not. He was the cool brother. So it was kind of nice to see him in this. But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's not really. That's like the kill that sticks out the most is the girl getting disemboweled, and then the ending, obviously. So the movie kind of goes on. A lot of people die. Not really a lot of people actually. Just Sydney's aunt.
Yeah.
Sydney's aunt dies, who's Jill's mother. Gail gets attacked and gets pretty fucked up. She gets stabbed in the shoulder. That's important for later. And that's at the Stabathon where we find out that Robert Rodriguez directed Stab 1, and he actually directed that footage like in real life. So that's kind of funny that we finally get that in a movie, I guess. But they're having a Stabathon. Gale gets fucked up. Dewey doesn't get hurt. He doesn't have a limp anymore, which is kind of stupid.
Stem cells.
And well, no, the only explanation we get of that, this was before stem cells were a thing, Justin. The only explanation we get of that is in the script. I think there's a throwaway note that says, "Oh yeah, Dewey's limp is gone. Years of physical therapy." And I'm like, that's not how physical therapy works. Like that's not how that works. And the limp is back in Scream 5 to a lesser extent, which again, that's why I think Scream 5 is a little better. But I'll gush about that movie next time. But, yeah. So, Gale gets fucked up. Sydney ends up going to this house where everybody's hanging out, where Hayden Panettiere is. That's Kirby. And then the dude that was walking around with the fucking headset with the camera, he gets killed. And he tries to exploit one of the rules where it's like, oh, you can't get killed if you're gay, and they've never seen
That's a
Animal.
fucking lie. I was about to say
they've never seen Animal, first of all. Second of all, yeah, he tries to be like, no, wait, I'm gay. And then I do like how Ghostface kind of looks at him like, all right.
Okay.
Just stabs him. I thought that was kind of fun. That's kind of funny. Happy Pride Month, everybody. But you know, I don't know. It's where's my brain going? I have a headache. I'm sorry, my sinuses are killing me, and
You have a
Justin's
headache.
half dead. But yeah, and then he dies, and then we get a scene that kind of echoes the opening of the first movie, where Charlie gets tied up outside. Ghostface calls Kirby, and he's like, "Hey, I want to play a game, whatever." And then you know she just answers with like every horror movie she can think of.
They're all remakes.
And they're all remakes, yes. And then you know she opens the door because Ghostface doesn't say anything. And then this is where we find out that Charlie's one of the killers because he stabs her in the stomach. But Kirby does not die because she's in Scream 6. So Kirby is not dead, much to my surprise, I guess, because I thought she was dead. But no, she just got 2 gut stabs. She tanked it, I guess. So
Wasn't there an Easter egg in 5 that shows that she
Yeah.
lived?
Yes, yeah, it's on the sidebar when Richie's watching YouTube, researching stab or whatever. But yeah, so Kirby survives, and Charlie goes back inside, and you know, some shit happens with Sydney, where she tries to run away from Charlie or something, and then she gets stabbed by the other Ghostface, who takes her mask off, and it's Jill.
Oh no!
It's Jill.
Valentine.
No,
Can you imagine?
I'd like it a lot more if it was.
And then
If it was
fucking-
Jill Valentine, everybody would be dead,
And
first
then
of all.
Nemesis walks out with a Ghostface mask on and just says stars.
Yeah. What a great fan fiction you just wrote, Justin. I'm sure somebody's thought of that, I hope. But yeah, so then, you know, Sydney is dealing with a gut wound. Classic Sydney, if I'm being honest. And she, you know, Jill starts explaining her plan. And they're like, yeah, we filmed everything. And it's all because I want to be famous. Like, you know, they heard about it before, but now they're going to see it. Because that's what you need to get likes, is you need it to be seen. And anybody who's been on Live Leak understands that. But that's besides the point. Jill's whole motive is that she wants to be famous, which I guess is kind of a critique on, like, social media and, like, how everybody was fishing for likes on Facebook and Twitter and shit. But it doesn't work now because I guess social media is not a new thing anymore. So I'm just kind of desensitized to it. And that whole fad of like, oh, I want validation. Like, yeah, but you know, now that's just normal. I don't know. Like, it's nothing. I don't know. It's not. It doesn't feel. I don't really like the motive that much. I mean, I guess it's at least interesting, but like, I don't know. And then Jill's just, you know, I don't like Jill as a character. She's kind of annoying. But yeah, so she's explaining her plan, and Charlie's like, yeah, but this time Randy gets the girl, and then they kiss, and then Jill's just like, I don't give a fuck about you, actually, and then kills him. They're also going to put it all on her ex-boyfriend that she's mad at because he fucked her and then dipped, and then she shoots him in the dick like twice. R.I.P. to that man. And then she shoots him in the head, and Sydney's just like, damn, that's crazy. And then, yeah, so Jill, then I think she stabs Sydney again.
Yeah.
Thinks that she killed her. And then Jill starts... This is the part I like in the finale where Jill just kind of, like, goes overboard. Because I like it when it gets a little goofy. And she kind of, like, starts fucking herself up to, like, sell it. And I'm like, that's kind of funny. I don't know. Like, that's something she would do. So I kind of fuck with it. And then, you know, the police show up. And they start taking her away. So the way... And immediately she gets the attention she wants because people are, like... There's like a crowd and shit because it's Westboro, all that, you know, they have a history. It's like when Michael started doing his shit in the new Halloween trilogy, and everybody was like, what the fuck? And everybody was like, you know, Halloween Kills, where he kills everybody, all because of Judy Greer, and because she didn't just kill Michael right then and anyway. So Judy Greer is responsible for like the death of at least half of Haddonfield. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, she dies, so.
Well, she's part of the I'm gonna kill you anyway. So We talked about that already. Episode fucking, I don't
Something.
know, 11 or whatever. Um, but yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so she's automatically getting what she wanted. So this was where the movie was supposed to end originally in Kevin Williamson's script. And then the cliffhanger was going to be Dewey running out saying, "Hey, we still have somebody breathing in here." And it was like and Jill was going to like kind of like have a reaction to it, and it was going to set her up to be the antagonist of the next movie. And that this would have been the first. If that had happened, this would have been the only movie where Ghostface survives.
Yeah.
Like that would have been it, right? So, you know, that's not what ends up happening. What ends up happening is Jill goes to the hospital. Dewey's talking with her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll write a book with Gale since we have matching, wounds."
Dumbass.
And Dewey kind of And what's funny is Sydney told her during her whole fucking spiel, during her "you caught me" monologuing moment. She tells her like, "You'll slip up. They always do." And sure enough, fucking Jill slips up and tells Dewey that, and Dewey doesn't connect it yet, but she's like, "I just wish Sydney could be here to see it," and Dewey's like, "Oh, she might make it. Like she's gonna she's gonna pull through." And then Jill's like, "No, but I watched her die," and then really selling it, right? And then Dewey's like, "All right, well, whatever, just get some rest." He goes to talk to Gale, mentions the matching wounds thing to Gale, and Gale's like, "How would she know about that?" And then Dewey's like, "Shit!" And then Dewey fucking runs off. Jill at this point has gotten to Sydney's room, which, by the way, there are cameras in hospitals, right? Like hospitals,
Yeah, and employees.
but especially in 2011, like there would be hospitals in all the halls, right? Like I'm not crazy, so it's like,
You said
what?
there'd be hospitals in all the halls.
What the? Shut up. So what the fuck? Like, what was Jill? What did Jill think was gonna happen? Like, yeah, she kills Sydney. All they gotta do is pull that CCTV footage, and then they're like, "Well, what were you doing, huh?" That's all they have to fucking do. But I think Jill was just so consumed by anger because Sydney survived that she was like, "I'm just gonna choke you." Much like I'm going to choke Justin because he's on his phone right now. But
I'm writing the post for this episode.
Anyway, so yeah. So Jill shows up. She tries to strangle Sydney. Sydney's like, "Eat shit." She sits on her stitches, which is rough. Dewey comes in. He gets beat with a bedpan. Classic Dewey. There's also Dewey's deputy, who I forgot to mention this entire time.
Oh yeah, Judy.
Judy Hicks from Zootopia is basically her fucking character, but she's
Judy Hopps.
that's basically who that is. Like she's basically Judy Hopps. Like don't tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, so yeah, Judy Hicks is like she's like I don't think she's like in love with Dewey, but you could tell she likes him. She's kind of just in the movie. There's one part that's really creepy where she's just like hanging out in the shadows.
Ow.
It's at fucking Sydney's house.
Oh yeah.
Or at Sydney's aunt's house. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, so then she gets shot in the chest. Gail's there too, I guess. I forgot she shows up. And she buys some time because, again, Jill's stupid and she thought Sydney was dead or at least incapacitated. And that gives Sydney enough time to activate a defibrillator. So Courtney, Gail, stalls for time and basically says, "I only have one last word to say." And this is corny as shit, but I kind of love it when Gail's just like, "Clear." And then Jill's like, "Clear? Really?" And then fucking, I don't remember what Sydney says when she fucking fries her head.
She said clear again.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And then she fries her head, and then she's like, "Forgot the first rule of remakes: don't fuck with the original." And I, if I had been in the theater in 2011, I probably would have cheered at that. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have been happy about that. And Sydney has another cool ass Sydney moment. That's always my favorite thing about these movies. And then they start tending to Dewey. Dewey's like, "What did I get hit with?" And Sydney's like, "Don't worry about it." But then you see Jill reach for the fucking thingamajig, right? It's a glass shard, I think. And then she's going to stab Sydney, but Sydney's been through this 3 times already. So, she knew what was coming. So she just fucking gets Jill right in the chest. And Jill dies. And then Sydney lays down next to her and says, I don't know about you, but I feel a lot better, which is the cuntiest thing you could fucking say after shooting somebody in the chest. That's insane. I love Sydney so much. But yeah, so she does that. And then, the movie ends kind of ironically because they're all talking about Jill. And they're all like, Jill's a town hero, so she would have, like, at least gotten some of the fame she wanted.
Yeah.
Before Sydney woke up and, like, remembered everything. But, like, she would have gotten it, at least for a little bit. She would have gotten her 15 minutes, right? So, and that's the movie. I just wanted to talk about that ending because I really like that ending. I think the ending's fine. It's just the rest of the movie doesn't click the way I want it to. But that's okay. That's Scream 4. It's a pretty fun time in the theaters that I didn't see it in. I saw it at home on my television. Yeah, that's Scream 4, I guess. Again, there's not really a lot to say about this one outside of just, there is some behind the scenes stuff though. Like I know Kevin Williamson had to fight with the producers, just like he had to with the first 3 movies. There were some things he wanted to change here and there. I think Wes Craven said that for the most part, it's pretty accurate to the original script that Kevin Williamson wrote, but there was some stuff in there that didn't make it for one reason or the other. I'm kind of. It would have been interesting to see how a second trilogy would have played out, but I don't know. But after this, we got the Scream TV show on MTV, which ran for 3 seasons, I think, and had a stupid-looking mask for the first 2. And then we have Scream 5 and 6, and then that's where it ends. There is no Scream 7. That is where it ends. Because in another world, I would be so excited. But, no, not right now. Not for what they did to Melissa Barrera, because she's really good, and I'm very upset. But that's okay. Because we still got the other movies. So, that's Scream 4. So we'll look at some critical reception from the time, as we normally do. I don't think there's really anything sidetracked to talk about this week. I haven't really seen any movies that warrant being talked about, like... Well, actually, you know what? I did watch Harakiri, which is an old movie. Came out in 1962, directed by Kobayashi, who also directed Kaidan, which is another old Japanese horror movie I like a lot. But in this movie, Harakiri, a man commits seppuku with a fucking bamboo sword.
Nice.
And you see some of it. Obviously, you don't see, like, him ripping his guts open, but, like, the sound design is pretty grueling. It's pretty rough to watch that scene. It's pretty good, though. That's a good movie. It's a pretty, I guess, interesting take on revenge that I found very captivating. So I recommend Harakiri if you're into fucking old Japanese movies like I am. And then I think I watched Space Jam again, why not? Saw Furiosa, that's pretty good. I think that might be it. And then I watched this yesterday. What else did I watch? I'm going to check my Letterboxd. I'm back on Letterboxd, everybody. I'm back on Letterboxd because I'm stupid.
Some finally good games get announced.
Oh, I watched The Fall Guy. That's right. That's a pretty fun Ryan Gosling movie. But, yeah. Gears of War E-Day. I can't wait. I'm very excited for that. There's also, there was a lot of really interesting stuff shown at that presentation. Perfect Dark looks really cool. That South of Midnight game looks pretty cool. There's, 3 fucking Souls-likes that look all right, I guess. Depends on how much they borrow from Sekiro. that's going to dictate whether or not I play them. And then Gears of War E-Day obviously got announced. Hopefully that comes out within the next year and not 2 years. But I'm thinking it's going to be 2 years, which bums me out a little because I'm very excited for that one. And then Doom Dark Ages. I just want another Quake, man. I just want another Quake. That's all I want. Phil, if you're listening to this for some stupid fucking reason, please let it make another Quake. Please. Yeah, Doom was a big one. I'm trying to think of what else. That was really it, huh? Like, those are the big ones that I can think of.
The ones that I cared about.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for those. So yeah, we'll see what happens with those. It's nice that Xbox is gonna have games again. Oh, the fucking Indiana Jones game. I'm very excited for that too. A first-person fucking Indiana Jones game by Machine Games. Fuck yeah, dude! I can't wait for that. I forgot all about that shit. Troy Baker is doing the voice for Indiana Jones, and I'm coming around to it a little bit. Still a little weird because it's Harrison Ford's face. But I'm coming around a little bit. It worked a little better in this last trailer they showed. So I'm pretty excited for that. Metal Gear Solid Delta. So, Metal Gear Solid Delta's weird. It's a remake of Snake Eater. I would rather they remake the first Metal Gear Solid, but that aside, I think the only issue I have with the Snake Eater remake, and mind you, I'm still probably going to buy it. I might even buy the fucking collector's edition just for that fucking diorama that comes with it. I'm not joking. There's something wrong with me. But, my issue with it is that it looks like it's going to be a 1-to-1 remake just with, newer graphics. And at that point, why not just play the original game? When Last of Us Part 1 got announced, and it was just the same game, but with prettier graphics on a newer engine, everybody shit on it and said it was unnecessary. And nobody's doing that with Snake Eater, and I think that's kind of funny because it's the exact same situation where you have a game that was beloved for better or worse, getting a remake that's effectively just newer graphics, and you can readily play the original Snake Eater now on newer consoles with the Master Collection, and Snake Eater is probably the most competent port in that collection from what I've heard. So it's like, what are we doing here? It's not like a Resident Evil 4 situation, which, before me and Justin played it, we felt that it didn't need to exist. But then after playing it and seeing that it was a different take on that story, it was like, oh, okay, cool. That's kind of what I want from a remake for a video game. Because, again, I could just, especially as someone that collects retro games and shit, I could just play the original. So it's like, why am I going to play the same exact game but just with better graphics? I don't know. Like, again, I'm still probably going to get it. I just think it's a little unnecessary, and I would have rather they remade the first game because that first game is probably the most dated. And, I don't know. I'm still excited for it. I still think it looks neat. I still think it's going to be fun, obviously, because it's fucking Snake Eater, but, like, it just feels a little unnecessary. I don't know. But, hey, if this is how they test the market to see interest in Metal Gear and give us a new Metal Gear game, unfortunately sans Kojima, that isn't Metal Gear Survive, then I guess I'll fucking take it, and I'll support it just so I can play more Metal Gear, because I like Metal Gear. It's one of my favorite game franchises, so, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, that was shown. The reason I bring all that up is because that was shown more at the Xbox Showcase, too. Summer Games Fest fucking sucked, by the way. That was really bad. There was like nothing good there. I was very happy with the Xbox Showcase though. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Good games coming out soon. I hope. Oh, and the best thing, a Starfield expansion, right, Justin?
What?
Aren't you excited for the Starfield expansion?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't care about Starfield.
I thought you liked Xbox, Justin.
Starfield sucks.
Yeah, I don't like Starfield. It's not that good. It's not. I don't like it. So,
It's just Fallout in space.
it's not even fall. It's a worse Outer Worlds, and Outer Worlds is already bland depending on who you ask. I like it, but it's a worse Outer Worlds. That's what it is, and I don't care about Bethesda anymore. So I'll fucking play Morrowind and Oblivion, and everything after that I kind of don't care about, except for, well, New Vegas isn't Bethesda, but you know, I don't know. So I'm glad that Xbox is finally going to have games again. That makes me pretty happy. It gives me a reason to use my Xbox outside of just playing 360 and original Xbox games. So that's good. So yeah. Outside of that, I mean, it's been a pretty quiet 2 weeks, all things considered, outside of work being shitty. But yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Justin looks like he's about to die. So let's get this train rolling, because Justin looks like he's about to fall asleep. So this movie got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus reads, the franchise is showing its age, but Scream 4 is undeniably an improvement over its predecessor, with just enough meta humor and clever kills. What kills were clever, brother?
Yeah,
What
I was about to say.
like clever? Ghostface ain't Jigsaw. I don't know. Like, that's not. What are we doing here, huh? So anyway, it's time to go to the cesspit of IMDb. I'll also read you my little letterboxd review for this movie, which is basically what I already said. Still doesn't click with me quite the way I want it to. I don't really care for any of the new cast except for maybe Kirby, and I think everything that this movie is trying to do in terms of meta commentary is done better in Scream 22. I don't hate it, though. The opening is pretty fun, and the finale ain't bad either. Still an okay time, but if I randomly want to watch a movie from this franchise, Scream 4 is probably the last one I'd pick. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I liked it. So that's, it's still good. It's just, I don't know. It ain't what I want it to be, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's look at Scream 4 on IMDb. If we can find Jacob John Taylor 1, who's going to say this is scarier than the other 3 movies. I can't wait. This has a lot more 10s than it does 1s. That's surprising. Well, it's not. I already said that this is a lot of people's favorite Scream movie. Let me see. Well, there's your problem. You wanted it to be as good as the original. This person just said horrible. This dude said, is this a joke? Kinda. This guy said, I want my money back. Hey, I don't know who I am the most angry with here. The entire cast of this film, or the people that have rated it as 7.2 on IMDb. Me and my friends actually went to the cinema believing this would be an okay film. Usually IMDb scores are fairly accurate, and a horror movie with a 7+ rating couldn't be that bad, right? Well, guess what? It was. After about 30 minutes, me and my friends decided to watch the film as a comedy. That's what you're supposed to do with a lot of these, brother. That's what you're supposed to do. Have you seen any Scream movies, my guy? Anyway. Which made it slightly better. Do not pay for this film ever. Actually, do not even watch it if you're being paid. Tom, why did you sign your name? This isn't a letter to the White House, brother. This is a fucking whatever. Picture Scream 1, 2, and 3, and that's Scream 4. Wes seems to have an unstoppable passion for making the same movie over and over again. He comes up with one change, making the killer a woman, and thinks he has a whole new movie on his hands. Scream 1, the original. Scream 2, the copycat killer of the original. Scream 3, the movie of the original. Scream 4, the original again, but with a female killer. Genius, Wes. I wonder if Scream 5 will be in the same town with another copycat killer student. Ooh, my guess is yes. But this time, the family pet dog, who's lived through the whole series of murders, being unfed in the background. Thrush scared me more than this movie. What the fuck is Thrush? Also, I don't think... No, it's not really a copycat. Anyway, terrible movie. I was in high school when the original Scream debuted, and it was excellent. The original had character development, gripping plot, believable storyline, and the gore and language were not over the top. The sequel, however, is not worth even a 0 on a scale of 1 to 10. My husband and I have seen all 3 of the other Scream movies, and while 1 was excellent, 2 was good, 3 was subpar, 4 was absolutely horrible. Thanks, George. The character development was non-existent. The storyline lacked any real conviction. The gore looked fake and was overused. And the language was littered with F-bombs because the writers had to fill empty space. Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell are great actresses, but this is nothing more than a glorified B flick. Anyone who rates this movie above a 4 is not a true critic, and is either lying or being paid to give it good ratings. Disappointed. I'm sorry, are you a true critic writing your fucking review on IMDb? Is that what you are? People take this shit too seriously sometimes, man. I don't know. It's so funny. Please stop. They have wrung this franchise dry. I don't know why they keep making these. Well, unfortunately for you, brother, you wrote this in 2021. They didn't stop. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, just god awful. Scream 4 sucks. Long limp donkey dicks. Wes, David, and Courtney owe America a refund. What's your favorite scary movie? Not this one. Yikes, it's not even a horror movie so much as a horrible movie. Hard to believe a lame slasher flick could also be preachy and pretentious while contradicting itself. Wow. If Courtney and David really hate the media so much, then leave the business. You owe us that much after all the hype for this stinker. The script is even more ridiculous than the other 3 installments. Yes, it's possible. Full of horrible acting and cheesy one-liners and of course a predictable, endless story that goes nowhere slowly. The lead girl, Sydney's cousin, what the fuck? LOL, she is simply wretched. Wretched, Jesus. Her performance is so over the top that for a moment she makes even Arquette look like an actor. Okay, buddy, hold on. Hold on, pal. Hold on. You don't get to talk shit about my boy Dewey, alright? You don't get to... I'm going to find your IP address, alright? I'm going to find it. He's a joke. The only good thing is seeing that Courtney Cox is eating again and not totally emaciated looking like she was in Scream 3. Back when she and Jen were competing with Ally McBeal for skinny girl ratings, LOL. This dude just is a certified hater. Oh my god. The movie is more of a bad comedy than a bad horror picture, and the only true horror here is knowing you paid your good money in this quote-unquote Bush economy. Why did you put that in quotes? The economy wasn't good under Bush. What do you... Okay, anyway, to find out once again that indeed, yep, all the Scream movies suck long limp donkey dicks. Man, he's real proud of that one, isn't he? Shame on you, Wes Craven. You used to make actually good horror movies. What the fuck? Get off the cash cow and get back to basics and make a real scary movie again. This is the review that killed him. He read this and got a fucking tumor in his brain. It's your fault. I hope you know that. I hope you fucking know that, brother. Stupid. From the old guy from Halloween 3. Everybody is hyper and overly emotional and super glib and talk like nerds. This is not the way real people talk, brother. You haven't been on Twitter. And the killer reveal is stupid. These movies try too hard to make the killer's identity a surprise, so when it's revealed, it makes no sense. The daughter did it just for fame and attention? Come on. Only positive is Lucy Hale is hot. Hold on. Who's Lucy Hale? Hold on a second. Lucy Hale. I guess. Yeah, I guess she was. Yeah, she's alright. This movie does not deserve a 7. Scream for your $10 back. See what he did there? See what he did? An empty shell. This is an empty shell of the original. I'm baffled with its high review ratings. I consider it the worst of all the Scream movies. Horrible. Just horrible. That guy is, A lot of people act like this movie, like, shot their parents or something. That's kind of funny, actually. Screaming to Leave. Good one, brother. The worst thing about this movie is all the fucking puns in the reviews here. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad. This dude wrote an essay about this movie. My God. Okay, let's skip that because that's getting boring. Let's look for my boy Jacob John Taylor 1 because I know he had to have written something about this film. He had to have. Please save us. Please, Jacob John Taylor 1. I need your help. My guy. Yeah, a lot of people gave this movie a 10, which is, again, surprising to me because I don't know. It must have been a lot of people's first Scream movie, I think. Kind of like how, everybody feels differently about the Friday the 13th sequels, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it just depends on which one you liked, like, Halloween 5 because that was one that you watched a lot when you were younger.
Yeah.
So, even though I hope that movie never sees the light of day again. Fourth one is scarier than the first three.
What?
This is one of the scariest movie of all time. The first three Scream movies are very scary, but this one is scarier. This is the best Scream movie. 6.2 is underrating it. I give it 10 out of 10. It is one of the best horror movie of all time. This movie has a great storyline. It also has great acting. It also has great special effects. I do not want to say too much about the plot because this is a mystery movie. It's very scary. And I need more lines and I am running out of things to say. Great movie, great movie, great movie. See all the Scream movies. They're all must-sees. See this movie. See it, see it, see it, see it, see it, see it, see it. It really is one of the best horror movie of all time. Thank you, Jacob John Taylor 1, for your unwavering support.
Factual reviews.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's all we got, I think. Justin looks like he's about to die. So with that, it's my week to pick. And I thought about it for a long time. I was trying to think, what could we watch? What could we watch that's fucked up?
A Serbian film.
What could we watch that's foreign?
Cannibal Holocaust. No, that's not foreign.
Technically it is. What could we watch that's specifically South Korean? And what could we watch that...
The Audition.
That's Japanese.
Oh.
You racist piece of shit. Anyways. I'm just kidding. Justin's not racist, I think.
Godzilla.
But, yeah, I mean, Shin Godzilla probably. But,
I don't like Shin Godzilla.
well, that's because Justin hates good movies. So... I was trying to think. I was like bouncing back and forth on this one. It's a movie I've recommended to Justin before, because it's not really horror, but it's really fucked up, and it's pretty violent. So I feel that it's close enough to horror to pick, and that movie is I Saw the Devil. Now, if you've seen I Saw the Devil, you know how fucking good it is, and that movie's just incredible. I watched it, I think last year sometime, and I was so fucking blown away by it. It's like legitimately one of the best foreign horror, like not really horror, but one of the best foreign movies I've ever seen in my life. Like it's fantastic. So I would recommend if you're listening to this, hopefully we get to it in a week and not 2 weeks again. But if you're listening to this, I would recommend hunting it down and watching it yourself, because it's very good. But I am very excited to talk about I Saw the Devil, because it is a really good movie. Really good movie. It's also really fucked up, but it's really good, and that's what's important. Is it's really good. So that's my pick, Justin. I Saw the Devil. It came out in what year did it come out? I Saw the Devil. Came out in 2010. It's about 2.5 hours long. 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb, baby. I can't wait to read the 1-star reviews for this one. Oh my god.
Subtitles.
That's probably going to be what some of them say. Like, that's probably going to be something to say. Look at this. Sex and nudity severe. Violence and gore severe. I don't know about profanity. I don't know why that says severe. This movie is pretty fucking violent, though. It's pretty fucked. But I'm excited to watch it. I picked it up at a movie store in Dallas. Movie store still exists, believe it or not, in places that aren't Houston, apparently. So, picked it up at a movie store in Dallas, along with a couple of other horror DVDs. And I watched it, and I was blown the fuck away. It's so good, dude. I can't wait to talk about it. So I don't know where you can find it to watch, but I highly recommend tracking it down if you can. I can't do it justice. That movie's fantastic. So that's my pick, and I think that's the episode. I think it's a short one today. I think it's a shorter one
Yeah.
because Justin looks like he's about to fall asleep.
Before I die of heat stroke.
Yeah, Justin needs to find another job. So I hope he finds one soon. Yeah, so thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back next time, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully soonish. To talk about I Saw the Devil.
Yay.
I can't wait to fucking talk about I Saw the Devil. I can't wait to watch it again, honestly. Because I really liked it. So yeah, look forward to that. Thanks for listening to us. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on fucking Apple. You can find us on fucking Spotify. You can find us everywhere.
Amazon.
We're even in your walls, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So when you hear our voices at night, we're just in your walls. That's just where we are. We're just hanging out. We're not like doing anything, you know?
Yeah.
We're not eating the forbidden cotton candy, you know? We're just hanging out.
Yep.
We might be high-fiving each other, but we're 6 feet apart because we're not gay, you know? Well, I am, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. All right? So, yeah. Fun times.
Fun.
Don't forget to sleep, unlike Justin here, who doesn't sleep.
I do sleep.
And that's why he's tired. Don't work in a warehouse, kids. Don't do it. They will use you and break you, and if you die, they'll replace you.
Yep.
That is what they do. Yeah, the money's good, but you're trading your fucking life for it, so... So anyway, enough of that. Enough of my anti-capitalism spiel. Have a good time. Looking for I Saw the Devil, I guess. And goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to eat your greens.
Yep.
And you know what I mean. It's fucking whatever.